Divorced parents? When did the legal system assume the worst about you? At 52, wearing my paint-stained work clothes and driving my beat-up Honda, I looked exactly like what my daughter's custody lawyer assumed I was, a broke loser who couldn't provide for his child. During our first meeting, she barely glanced up from her MacBook, her manicured fingers drumming impatiently on mahogany as she studied my case file with visible disgust. Mr. Harrison, I'll be frank, your daughter's mother has legitimate concerns. Her voice carried the practiced condescension of someone addressing the help. She pushed designer glasses up her nose while scanning documents that painted me as a deadbeat obsessed with motorcycles over parenting. Riley deserves stability, not someone who prioritizes hobbies over college funds. The word hobbies dripped with disdain as her eyes lingered on my oil-stained fingernails, making assumptions about my bank account based on my appearance. I watched her expression shift from professional courtesy to barely concealed pity. She leaned back in her leather chair, studying me like a particularly disappointing specimen. Frankly, given your financial situation, perhaps it's best if we discuss supervised visitation rather than joint custody. Her tone suggested she was doing me a favor by even considering partial access to my own daughter. Her assistant, a sharp-dressed young man who kept checking his Rolex, snorted softly at my secondhand jacket. Some fathers just aren't equipped for the financial responsibilities of modern parenting, he muttered to his boss, loud enough for me to hear. His smirk revealed perfect teeth that probably cost more than most people's cars. Now, about legal fees, she continued, her tone suggesting I'd struggle to afford even basic representation. I understand resources are limited, but we'll need a retainer up front. Perhaps you could sell that motorcycle your ex-wife mentioned? The suggestion hung in the air like charity offered to the desperate. When I pulled out my phone to check my calendar, an older iPhone with a cracked screen, she exchanged glances with her assistant. The look they shared spoke volumes about their assessment of my circumstances. Mr. Harrison, perhaps we should discuss payment plans. I realize skilled tradesmen don't always have liquid assets. She shuffled through papers with theatrical concern. Looking at your employment history, motorcycle repair doesn't exactly scream financial stability. Riley's mother is quite concerned about her daughter's future prospects under your care. The assistant chimed in again, his voice dripping with false sympathy. Have you considered community college for Riley? It might be more realistic given your circumstances. He emphasized the word realistic, like he was explaining basic math to a child. I notice you've listed this garage as your primary residence, she continued, scanning documents with raised eyebrows. While I'm sure it's adequate for your needs, a teenage girl requires proper amenities, private bedrooms, study spaces, access to cultural enrichment. Her next words cut deeper. Riley's mother has enrolled her in SAT prep courses and college counseling. These investments in her future cost thousands annually. Can you honestly provide equivalent opportunities? The question wasn't really a question at all. The final insult came when she suggested I consider giving up custody entirely. Sometimes the most loving thing a father can do is recognize his limitations. Your daughter needs prep school, tutoring, college preparation, investments you simply cannot provide. She leaned forward with practiced compassion, delivering the death blow wrapped in false kindness. Her words hung in the air like a death sentence, each assumption about my worthlessness building towards something she couldn't possibly see coming. I let the silence stretch, watching her confidence grow with each passing second. I reached into my jacket pocket and placed a single business card on her pristine desk. Her eyes widened as she read the industry name. You're right about one thing, I said quietly, watching her face drain of color. Riley does deserve the best education money can buy. Fortunately, our family trust fund should cover Harvard's tuition several times over. The assistant's Rolex suddenly looked like a toy next to the quiet power filling the room. She stammered through apologies while I gathered my papers, her designer confidence crumbling like wet cardboard. I dress for motorcycle maintenance, not meetings, I explained, standing to leave. But since you prefer discussing money, my net worth is roughly what your firm bills in 5 years. 2 weeks later, I had full custody and a new lawyer. Riley's college fund, untouched and earning compound interest, had grown to an amount that would make her mother's attorney sick.